Welcome to the Retail Tech Podcast, where we talk about the full spectrum of technologies and implementation used in omnichannel and online retail. Make sure to subscribe to our newsletter at retailtechpodcast.com, and we always look forward to your feedback. I'm speaking with Josh Teitelman, the VP of Commerce at a company called Sprinklr. Hi Josh, how are you?
How are you doing? Great to meet you.
Great, thank you. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. What is Sprinklr?
So Sprinklr is the world's most complete social management platform for brands. We work with brands across advertising, marketing, customer care. Commerce is an emerging aspect for us, and also research and analytics. What makes us different, Sprinklr, is we essentially look at social a little bit differently. With 2 billion people connected online, brands need the ability to provide a human touch to their customers.
Right.
And the platform that we're building essentially helps them do that. So when you implement Sprinklr across the brand, it connects with legacy solutions where they've been engaging with the brand historically across the website, across email, CRM. And with the brand, it now empowers them to work with their customers more efficiently across the different organization silos in the brand.
So Sprinklr is a software company or a services company or a combination?
Primarily software company.
Why don't you tell me exactly what the software does?
So the software allows brands to manage customer touchpoints. And we look at it from a customer touchpoint perspective, not necessarily social versus digital. Because now we're pulling in e-com engagement interactions into the platform. For example, from the website? The website itself.
The transactions and the analytics as well?
We can pull all that into our platform.
Okay.
But primarily, the core aspect of our platform focuses on engagement. So how do you engage with folks across Twitter? How do you engage with folks across Facebook? How do you engage with folks across, say, your ratings and reviews on your website?
So how do you actually do that?
So people authenticate the social accounts on our platform, but we also provide native ratings and reviews, experiences that are a core extension of our platform.
Do they have to actually people have to use your app or the retailer's app?
It can be a combination of the two. We have our own solution that they can use, but we can also pull in ratings and reviews and other information from e-com using our intelligence tools. So our product intelligence, which allow retailers or brands to get a holistic view of of people's engagement or feedback on products across, Amazon or Walmart or Best Buy. Other third-party destinations where people may be purchasing those products as well.
Okay, so I'm thinking about an actual implementation with a retailer. What's involved in implementing your software with a retailer's system, which typically is going to have their own e-commerce platform, probably in-store systems?
From an e-com standpoint, if you're using a few of the solutions that we have out there already, it's primarily around visual commerce or the ratings and reviews, question answer, or shopper feedback. The visual commerce solutions integrate into the e-com platform with a few lines of JavaScript. We have visualization engines that help you design that, and then there's embed code that goes on the site. From ratings and reviews, or what we categorize as a pre- and post-purchase scenario, they're JSON endpoints that allow the brand or retailer's developers to consume in their templating engines, and then they render that on the site itself.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on the buy button? Right, and I'm sure you know the company Button. They're based in New York, I think.
I'm not familiar.
Okay, so maybe. So the buy button is basically like you can actually put a buy button right on your Twitter feed or a product where you're showing a product.
And we handle that as well through our advertising solutions. So our advertising solutions, first off, allow you to advertise in the social channels themselves. But underneath that, we have segmentation engines or audience engines that pull in, say, journey history or purchase history, engagement history, and allow brands to segment customers in a way that can target them better. So as a part of that, the Twitter cards that include buy buttons can be put in front of folks with certain products that match the right segment.
Okay, so how much of this data that's being captured on shoppers, how much of it is actually identifiable and how much of it is anonymous? Because privacy is a major issue for people.
Yes, it is. So the information that comes in from social or e-com, we can identify with those that engage. If we want to repurpose that information, depending on the source, we have to get the permission of the user, say for like user-generated content. If we want to take that from Instagram and publish it onto a website with actual, what we call shoppable links, that would require, the consent of the customer. So from the e-com side, it falls under the terms and conditions of what the registration info is. So it really depends, but the information is held quite securely in our systems and used appropriately. On top of that, each channel has their own terms and conditions as well. So Twitter is different from Facebook. Facebook is different from Instagram. So we have to abide by those too. And the governance within the platform ensures that the data is only being used in the manner that aligns with those terms and conditions.
Okay, so you mentioned visual commerce. Is that the name of a product or a concept?
A solution group we have.
A solution, okay, because it's also being used as the concept of visual commerce.
Under visual commerce, we have two components or modules, shoppable galleries, which are kind of category level galleries that may contain a number of different products and images, or we have product level galleries which go on the product pages themselves that would contain like one product in the images that we're showing.
Okay, now do you focus only on e-commerce, online, or also multi-channel, omni-channel retailers?
Omni-channel, so it's a great question. We have solutions for e-com, we're dealing with social, but we also have social displays that we can push into store. In fact, at South by Southwest this year, we'll be debuting our next version of our social displays. And this will allow retailers to show not only, say, like these displays here, obviously hard with the podcast, but the social displays that are showing information here about NRF, but we'll have displays that also show on the product level itself, so shelf level technology that we can integrate with.
So that's like more like a smaller display that actually can be mounted next to a product.
Right.
Okay, and show this product was liked or it has these reviews.
It can show that, it can show user-generated content.
Okay.
Which, now going back to visual commerce and showing that, right, it allows brands to show how other consumers are utilizing the products, but why that's key for brands and retailers is it increases cart value, revenue per customer, because if I go in, say, to buy a pair of shoes and I see an asset that has the shoes associated with a pair of pants and a jacket, you now have an outfit, which is going to increase cart size.
So how different are these solutions based on the product, actually, the product category? Like grocery, furniture, art, automotive, apparel. Everyone really has its own characteristics, right?
And that's the beauty with Sprinklr. So while we work across different industries, we have a global set of customers. We work with some of the largest customers in the world and are partnered with some great partners as well, with like IBM, SAP, and Microsoft. We can tailor our solution to meet the customer's needs, whether that's just configuring the workflows, that's one way, depending on how the organization is laid out, or if there's a different way the solution itself needs to be designed, the solutions can be tailored on the front end too.
Okay. So, of course, no product or announcement these days goes without mentioning the words AI and machine learning. So I'm sure you use some of that
We are. We're heavily investing in there. So a lot of the innovation going on with Sprinklr today, we have automation from like a rules engine that sits in the core of our platform. And today those rules either guide conversations or curate conversations. They can boost advertising. But where we're really taking that is to machine learning the next step. So understanding how customers are engaging, and then on top of that is the automation with the bots that we're looking at as well. So how can we provide...
With Alexa, for example?
Or
I don't know if can we call Alexa a bot or no? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't want to offend Alexa.
But a lot of our use cases revolve around customer care. So how do we provide knowledge bases and get the information to the customer without necessarily having to tap into a human, but only going to a human when necessary? So those are some solutions we're looking at as well.
Yeah, I guess the differentiation with a bot and an assistant is that the bot only does one thing, and an assistant, an automated assistant, does many different things. So sorry, Alexa. I'm sure you're listening either today or maybe next year. So don't take it personally. The concept also is sometimes called conversational commerce. Is that pretty much the same concept?
It is the same concept. That's more of like what my Google search would be, is conversational commerce instead of just bots.
Right.
But that is the trend we're looking at, trying to figure it out. As many others are doing today in the industry. We see a lot of our customers wanting to invest in those areas. So we're partnering with them in some cases to do so.
So you mentioned you work with IBM. Of course, IBM has Watson. So how does Watson play with Sprinklr?
There's a few different integrations we have with IBM. We work with them on the advertising side, but Watson as well. Watson will take a lot of the data and insights that come through Sprinklr and process it as Watson does. So we can be just another data point for Watson to do its stuff.
Some of the customers that you work with, can you mention like an example of a project that you've done lately?
Project from the commerce side is we've been focused around Michael Kors with the visual commerce stuff. Campbell Soup, we just are launching our ratings and reviews globally with them.
So what did you do with Michael Kors?
Michael Kors is, if you go to the website, you have the user-generated content that has been tagged with products, so the shoppable galleries. And here, Kors is curating the information through Sprinklr, getting the right user approvals and permissions, and then we're tagging it with the right products and we're posting it on that website. So it's enhancing the way people are shopping with Michael Kors. So maybe instead of having to go through the traditional search or category through product page, they're now interacting with user-generated content and then clicking from there, either adding it directly to cart or going to the product page to learn more.
Basically saving the shopper some time of looking for different things and giving them additional ideas.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So one last question. If you were to look at your crystal ball and tell me what a retail store actually is going to look like in 5 or 7 years, what is your prediction?
So I think the retail store itself will continue to play an important role with retailers, even with the online and the e-commerce shift. I think things will be more intuitive. The technology will come with RFID chip, prices dropping. You can have augmented, experiences in the retail store itself, where maybe you're starting to overlay information on top of products from a device as you shop. But really, I see, the rise of the other, we talked about conversational commerce, but also a lot of distributed commerce, of taking the shop to the customer. So the store will continue to be there, but also being able to take the shop to the customers in their channel of choice. So that's where I kind of see it moving.
Look forward to hearing about new projects and new customers.
I appreciate the time. Thank you for having me.